Ladies, good evening and welcome. Welcome, Tara. Hello, my darling. I can see you're out walking. Marina, hello there on the iPhone. I can't see your name, but I'm saying hello to you. Beautiful Darcy. How are we all?
Good, still working.
Still working. You've had your it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's down today.
Aphrodite. I'm not used to seeing you with your hair down, darling.
I
It
know.
really suits you.
And I have my reading glasses on.
I love it. You look very sexy. You look beautiful. So welcome aboard, everybody. How's your week been, Darcy? How you going? How you tracking?
It's been good. Yeah, I tracked yesterday and I forgot today, so I will try to do it like maybe every other day, maybe, hopefully.
All right, you keep going, girl, because we're optimizing. It's exciting. All right, so let's make a start. I'm going to be talking about the lymphatic system. It's super important because it affects our fertility in so many different ways, and I'm going to make it quite simple. So I will be talking for approximately 30 minutes. I'll try and keep it as brief as I can. And then I'm going to open up the Q&A. So that's where I try and encourage you to stay to the end so that you can ask me any question. And I'll implore you and encourage you to turn on your video. So try not to just write it in the chat because I'm a people person. I love your faces. So drop your questions to me directly. Unmute yourself, turn your video on and ask me the questions rather than in the chat. So we'll be talking about the lymphatic system, and we really need it optimal because we need it optimal for conception, we need it optimal for pregnancy, and it kind of just gets a bit of a back step. We tend to focus on so much, but the lymphatic system is as important as the circulatory system. And there's a lot of crossover. So we're going to look at some strategies. We're going to interrelate the Chinese medicine into it and integrate it. But let's first of all just talk about what it is. So when we're looking at the lymphatic system, I use the analogy of the drain in your home because that's the best thing I can think, and it's analogous to the drain. And so, if your drain gets blocked, all right, what happens? There's an odor. What else? Then things get stuck. All right, the chi and blood is getting stuck. Then the particles bank up. I just recently had my shower. My hair was just, it was all just getting caught. I am just like molting like a little big pussycat. And then it's like bacteria, food particles, everything gets stagnant in the drain. So we've really got to work on how do we unblock the drain, and that's what we're going to focus on today. We want to unblock the drain so that then the chi and blood and all the substances can move freely, all right? And then we've got, perfect fertility. We've got that perfect balance. So if we're looking at how it relates to our overall health, our reproductive health, and fertility, I will break it down into three separate components. So largely it's the immune system, it's, the lymphatic system, it's integral to the immune system, and, it's what helps transport the white blood cells. So they're vital for fighting any infections that you're having and also balancing your immune system, especially if you've got thyroid issues. It's important you have a really strong immune system. It can help also with implantation. So, your immune system needs to be functioning well for your body to accept and nurture the developing embryo. So it's really super important to have that immune system functioning well. The lymphatic system supports the immune system. All right. It also supports in maintaining the hormonal balance. So how does it do that? Well, it's assisting in the removal of excess hormones and detoxification pathways. So you can see that if you are getting those imbalances, we've got things like PCOS, endometriosis, just to name a few. But we really need those things to be detoxified. So with endometriosis, you've got that buildup of estrogenic factors. It's not being escorted out of the body. So the lymphatic system helps us detoxify these substances. Now, it also helps reduce inflammation. So a good lymphatic system circulation, it reduces inflammation. So it's, chronic inflammation, what's that going to do? Well, it's going to affect your egg quality, it's going to affect sperm quality, it's going to interfere with implantation. So, and then there's all these complications that can arise during pregnancy, preeclampsia. There's a whole plethora of things that can happen if there's inflammation when you're pregnant. So, basically breaking it down, immune, hormonal balance, and reducing inflammation. So, it's important that we work on these strategies. So let's look at what are some things you can do DIY at home for a healthy lymphatic system. Now, the great thing is most of you are already doing most of this protocol because, if you're trying to conceive, indirectly, you're already working on your lymphatic system. All right, so regular exercise. Now, I can't stress this enough because sometimes we can get too sedentary. We can think, sitting, you think that you don't want to disrupt your chi or you don't want to lose the chi or what have you, but physical activity, circulation, we need to move the waste products. We need to reduce the inflammation. We need the circulation through the lymphatic system to support that healthy internal environment. So we've got to find what works for you. Now, it could be walking. I call it time on feet. And it just can be, 40 minutes, a morning light exposure, first thing in the morning, get a 20-minute walk in. It doesn't have to be a long walk. It doesn't have to be 10,000 steps. If you're not feeling great, let's aim for 5,000 steps. But then it's finding the thing that makes you happy. So what is it? I love yoga. I'm a yogi. I'm a yogini. I love stretching my body. And, I love what it does for me because it's using every part of me to stretch the circulatory system, to work on the lymphatic system, and yoga's just amazing because every part of you gets treated when you do yoga. So it works on lymphatic, circulatory, musculoskeletal, bone density, cognitive function. It's pretty powerful, yoga. But not everyone's into yoga, all right? Not everyone's a namaste kind of person. So it could be weight training. I love weights. I actually lift weights and I find it's a good combination with the yoga. But you need to find what works for you. It might be cycling. All right, but it could be dancing around with your puppy dog, all right, or your children if you have other children, or your husband, dancing in the living room. We need movement. Movement is important because it stimulates the blood circulation and the transportation of oxygen. O2, we need it for the tissues and the cells and the lining. We need it for everything. So just remember, when you're sedentary, it leads to an accumulation of toxins in the body and in the muscles. So move your body. That's the biggest number one thing for the lymphatic system. That's my number one. All right, lower diaphragmatic breathing. So if you are you not aware of what lower diaphragmatic breathing? It's when you're using the lower part of your abdomen. You want that to be rising and falling like this. All right, so I'll often get my patients to put one hand on their heart and the other hand on the womb space. We want to keep the chest still, and then it's letting the belly be soft. And it's simple yet powerful, all right, because it stimulates the lymph flow. It helps the lymphatic system move fluid through the body and it removes toxins. So breath control, if we look at the power of the breath, excretion, the breath eliminates so many toxins. So mastery of the breath is so powerful, which is why it's my number two. It's my second most favorite thing for working on the lymphatic system. Now, if I'm doing my fertility coaching, I'm teaching all of my patients so many different techniques. Sometimes we'll do Brahmari, sometimes we'll do Bastrika, this is the bellows breath. Sometimes we'll do, alternate nostril breathing. There's so much you can do with breath control. You're probably already aware of this, but I'm going to mention it because I mention it in my talks, every single talk, the power of castor oil packs. Castor oil packs are super important because they promote lymphatic drainage. And, if you look at it, we often will do them if we're trying to conceive in the follicular phase. So when you finish your period, the last day of, and then we do it up to ovulation and then we stop. Okay, so it helps helps the bile ducts. It thins the bile. It works on the liver, supports the digestive enzymes. It helps with that bowel motility. It reduces swelling and edema. So, if you've got lymphedema or swelling in the legs or cankles, as we call them, all right, castor oil packs are an amazing go-to. All right, they're also antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory. But at the end of the day, because we're talking about lymphatic drainage, it's about improving that circulation and tissue oxygenation, and it supports ultimately the immune system. So castor oil packs, if you're not doing them, start doing them follicular phase only. All right, after ovulation, we stop. All right, and we resume when we finish our period. Now, we want to look at the diet because it's really important, because the diet, if you think about your diet, we want to have an anti-inflammatory diet when we're talking about the lymphatic system, because pathogens cannot flourish in an alkaline environment. So that makes sense, doesn't it? So we want to have lots of healthy, fresh, organic where possible, fruit and vegetables, color. Just think of a rainbow of color, diversity. And, if we're thinking of the best foods to detoxify the lymphatic system, they are the red fruits and vegetables. Now, in Chinese medicine, that's the heart energy, because the heart governs the blood vessels. So it opens up, vasodilates the blood vessels. So what are some red foods? Pomegranates, cranberries, beets, rhubarb, goji berries, red dates. What else? Hawthorn berries, raspberries, cherries. I'm just thinking out loud. All right. So if you can think of anything else, even tomatoes, carrots, red apples. All right. So think red things. And then we're just looking at all the pro-inflammatory foods. So, fatty fish, omega-3s, lots of fats, good oils, non-starchy green vegetables, leafy greens. We've got what else? The alliums, your onion family. All right, that's just your garlic, onions, chives, leeks. All right, and then we want fermented foods for the gut, because we want to mulch everything. We want wild caught salmon, vegetable broth, bone broth is king, apple cider vinegar, ginger, turmeric. All of these things are really my top anti-inflammatory foods. And we're just wanting to, avoid the things that are going to clog the drain. What are they? All right, so it's refined grains. It's whole grains and, flour and those kinds of products. It's deep fried, fatty, processed foods. All right, most packaged foods are not good for you. All right. I've even got an app that I've been promoting with most of my patients called Yuka, and you can actually just put the take a photo of it. It brings up the barcode. It'll tell you if it's a good rating. So we want to look at our barcodes and look at the packaging and what's in our food. Most commercial salad dressings, they're full of trans fats and margarines. There's some oils like cornflower oil, safflower, sunflower, soybean oil. They're not great. They're going to clog the drain. All right, so we want to think about the good oils. So it's your avocado oil, it's your olive oil, it's your coconut oil. All right, hydration, if we think about that, it's super important. It's critical for lymphatic function. Cheers. Because it's made up of, your lymph fluid is made up of 95% water. So we want to make sure that your lymph fluid remains fluid and it's flowing. It makes sense, doesn't it? Now, dry brushing. Everyone's probably got one of these at home. All right, so, all right, there's a lot of YouTube videos, and if anyone needs one, I can DM me and I'll send you a link, because there's lots of different protocols. Like clearly, the main technique is usually starting from the feet and you're working up to the heart, and then you work from the hands and you're doing up towards the heart, right? So your lymph nodes, we're working towards the heart and the lymph nodes, all right? But then there are other techniques. So, because you may have had lymph nodes removed, so you'll go to the other side towards, across and then come up. Like, there's a lot of different techniques. So it's not one size fits all. So you want to make sure that you dry brushing correctly, but you're just stimulating, those circular movements up. All right, and it feels nice. It's a bit of an exfoliation, all right, but it's stimulating the lymph flow and it's improving the circulation. So grab one of these. I like that. If you need ones with a handle, to get to the back, So this one's a little bit difficult. I can only really do the front behind the legs. The back I can just kind of get to, but it's not as accessible. But highly recommend these things. Lymphatic draining massage. Now I've got a little basic technique. I can show you my little, it's a very basic 6 lymph technique where we'll look at the main areas where the lymph accumulates. And we usually will start, all right, so we're going to rub, tap, and stroke. Rub, tap, and stroke. Do you like that? Easy to remember. All right, so the clavicle, this is all this congestion here, these lymph nodes above and below the clavicle. So what are we going to do? We're going to rub it above. We're going to rub the below, and then we're going to tap, 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 tap above, tap, tap, tap below, and then we're going to stroke. So circular motions. You know, so circular in terms of clockwise and anti-clockwise, and then below. So you go to the other side. All right, we're going to rub above the clavicle, below the clavicle. All right, we're going to then tap them, then the circular motions around, and then again. All right, then we go to the jawline. All right, you've got these lymph nodes here. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to rub, we're going to tap, we're going to do the circular motions. All right, then we're going to go underneath the armpit. So this chest area is kind of like the pec and the armpit. So we're going to rub, we're going to tap, and we're going to circular motion. Other side. Rub, 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 tap, 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 stroke, stroke, stroke. Now we come to the abdomen. All right, so here we're going to rub, tap, and then I put my hand on top, and we're going to go clockwise. All right, yeah, it's going down the descending colon, which is the left-hand side. So I should go mirror image, so then you can see that I'm going down the descending colon on the left-hand side. All right, the groin. All right, so we're going to rub. It's on your panty line. So if you're sitting there, look down, crease of the panties, and we're going to rub, tap, circular motions. Good. And then the last one. So there's 6 positions behind the knee. So again, we're going to rub, tap, and stroke behind the knee. So this is just a very simple technique. All right, I like this one because I remember this one. And if anyone wants this diagram, you can DM me or let me know, or drop it below the replay. But it's a nice little technique, and it's easy to remember. All right, because there's 6 main areas. Then I'm a yoga instructor, so you know I'll always get my patients to elevate the legs. And this really promotes lymphatic drainage and circulation, especially if you spend a lot of time standing or sitting. Or you might be just on your feet or walking or doing, you know, if you're doing a lot of exercise. So it aids that venous blood return back to the heart. All right, so around 10 to 15 minutes, I'll often get my patients to do it at night, put on an eye bag or roll up some towels. So you just surrender the eyes, and it's just a restorative pose, but so important for the lymphatic system. It's also pooling the blood in the reproductive area, all right? And that's where we want all the blood to pool, like a lake. It's an inverted lake. So I love Viparita Karani. It's so good, releases the hamstrings and the back, but it's doing so much for your body. All right, we want to avoid really tight clothing, especially because it restricts your lymphatic flow. So we want to opt for loose fitting, we want comfortable clothes, and especially around the armpits and the groin. All right, so especially never wear tight things like tight clothes when you're sleeping. So I say sleep naked if you can, like be a nudie Rudy. Let's go back to that. And you know, why not be just open to being naked in bed? I know it scares most people, but your lymphatic system will love you. All right. Rebounding. Now, not everyone's got a mini trampoline or a rebounder, but a few minutes a day is so good because it works like on that gravitational pull, right? When you're going up and down. All right, so I've got a DIY rebounding technique that you can do without a mini trampoline. And that is literally standing on the balls of your feet. All right, so your toes are all spread, but you're just high up, lift your heels up, and you go up and down. up and down like this, up and down, up and down. So up and down. Ooh, ooh, pretty funny. But a few minutes of that is going to help your lymphatic health. All right, it's going to help detoxify and oxygenate your body more effectively. So if you are sitting at the desk, then I would say every 20 minutes, put an alarm on, up you get, and we can do some rebounding. Just be on the ball. So you drop the heels down, raise up. So you're really constricting the calves, and it's that gravitational pull and G-force that's happening. All right, so it's really pumping the lymph. It's amazing. All right, so let's get into rebounding, because you don't need the mini trampoline. You can just lift your heels off the ground. All right, herbal teas. If I'm looking at herbal teas for the lymph, it's your ginger tea. It's something like echinacea, burdock root. Sometimes I'll use that, but it's generally avoided in pregnancy and breastfeeding. But you know, you can use echinacea and ginger in pregnancy, and it's quite safe. You know, echinacea is considered a category A medicine in pregnancy, so it's one of those few herbs that you can take during pregnancy without any worry. This demonstrates no fetal risk. So, you know, it's also good for the immune system. Rest and relaxation. I think I can't stress this enough, because chronic stress impacts the lymphatic system. So we want to look at mindfulness techniques, meditation, you know, just even if it's journaling, what are the things that you can do to relax? Reading, slowing you down. What is it? What is the thing that you do to relax? Listening to music, all right? It could be getting a massage, because, you know, I find that even massage, it just, you know, makes you feel good. Works on the skin. It's the largest organ of the body. So it's going to work on the immune function. And especially if you've got lymphatic disease, such as lymphedema, you can, you know, benefit with the lymphatic drainage massage. Now, this is a manual lymph drainage technique. Try and say that fast, but it's very soft and gentle, and you'll need a specialized practitioner to do that manual lymph drainage technique, but I highly recommend that. Epsom salt baths. All right, soaking is really important. It improves the lymphatic system. It opens up the detoxification pathways. What else? It relaxes the muscles. It improves the sleep. It's great for your skin, calms the nervous system. So Epsom salts are going to work on everything, but lymphatic system, it's incredible for that. Magnesium oil, it's another great relaxer and a facilitator of the lymphatic system. I'll often get my patients to apply it on the liver, which is under the right breast. So I'm doing mirror image for you, so you know you're on the right side. And this can be done daily, all right? You can mix it. If you're itchy, it means you are deficient. So we need more of it. And we want to mix it with either coconut oil, you can mix it with sesame or almond oil if it stings your skin. All right, the other thing is sleep. Sleep is super important for the lymphatic system, because if we look at it, it's your detoxification system. It's clearing all the toxins. And if we look at liver detoxification, it happens between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. So it's important to be in a deep sleep for your liver detoxification and your lymphatic system to work optimally. All right, so how does Chinese medicine look at and view the lymphatic system? So we look at it through the lens of the whole body. So Chinese medicine is very holistic, and we look at, you know, like we don't actually have a direct equivalent to the Western concept of the lymphatic system, but we look at, you know, fluid metabolism, circulation, and your body's ability to eliminate waste and toxins. So we put it in a different language. We're talking about the same things, but it's different. All right. So if I am relating it back to a Chinese medicine theory, the meridians that I'm likely to be focusing on when there's lymphatic issues would be the spleen, because the spleen in Chinese medicine, it's responsible for transforming fluids and food and fluids, as well as governing the transportation of nutrients and fluids throughout the body. So when the spleen qi is weak, then you get this accumulation of dampness and swelling and fluid retention and a sluggish lymphatic drainage. The liver, it plays a crucial role in the lymphatic system, because it's you know, if the liver gets stagnant, you get blockage. All right, there's the drain getting blocked, and then the flow fluids is not moving. So chi and blood is just stagnant, and then you've got emotional things that come with that. And, you know, so it'll affect ovulation, it'll affect the hormonal balance. So I'm always going to be working liver, spleen, the kidneys. Like when the kidney chi is weak, or we've got kidney yang deficiency, it can lead to fluid retention, and it can hinder the body's ability to eliminate waste and toxins effectively. So that's including the lymphatic waste. So I'll always work on the kidneys. In fertility, I'm always working on your kidneys, like standard practice. In every formulation, in everything that I'm doing with women over 40, I'm always treating your kidneys, all right, because they're the foundation of your fertility. They govern rebirth, growth, development, the brain, the spinal column. It's, you know, they are the gene that you bring, this 50% of your DNA to your offspring. So the kidneys are the foundation. So I'm always going to work kidneys, number one, and then clearly stomach. So stomach's related to the spleen. We call it the yang ming. And often, you know, this is digestive stuff, dampness accumulation that can happen in the stomach or the spleen, and that can lead to a sluggish lymphatic flow, and then you've got fluid retention. So how do we address it from a Chinese medicine perspective? Well, acupuncture, we'll use the Chinese herbal medicine. I will use dietary advice, as I've used before, the red foods, and we'll look at your pattern. We've got beautiful techniques that we have. Shonishin. This is a needle-free acupuncture, and we use this primarily with pediatric patients, but highly sensitive patients like me, I have I'm very sensitive, and the Shonishin it's scraping of the skin, and it's just super gentle. And if you've ever had a Shonishin and it's a treatment, oh, it's just so relaxing and so beautiful to have Shonish. It's a Japanese technique, but we use it in Chinese medicine. Cupping's another technique we'll use to clear stagnation, improve the flow of qi and blood, and enhance the body's natural healing processes. So, you know, you put these cups directly, it's like we create a vacuum. We usually use a flame underneath the cup. It suctions onto the skin, and it's going to move toxins, all right? It's going to support congestion. If you've got a cough, it's going to reduce inflammation, but it's going to move that liver qi. So cupping's incredible. We've got gua sha. You've often done this in your with your castor oil packs with scraping the skin. We'll often do it on the belly, especially for fertility. We'll do abdominal gua sha, like your castor oil packs, in the follicular phase. So you're using this little gua sha tool. It can be any tool with a sharp edge, so any spoon that you have. But in Chinese medicine, we use these little ceramic spoons, and we scrape from the pubis to the navel. We scrape up towards the heart, over the hips and the ovaries. All right, so gua sha is awesome. It's the scraping of the skin, similar to Shonishin. And then we've got Tuina, Chinese massage. We've even got moxibustion. So even though moxibustion indirectly supports lymphatic function, but it works on the circulation. So it works on that immune system modulation. And so moxa, it's an indirect approach, but it's working on your lymphatic system. So I'll quickly cover just a few formulas I might use with regard to lymphatic drainage and fertility. Tao Hong Siwu Tongue. So this is used for nourishing the blood, but when there is a lot of blood stagnation, it removes that, and it helps, you know, impact the lymphatic flow. We've got Shenghua Tongue. This is it's called Generate the Fluids decoction. I love this formula, and this is used mainly in postpartum recovery, and this is where you've got that postpartum discharge. We call it lochia. It's getting rid of this discharge that happens, and then actually that can happen for quite some time after you've given birth. And so it's a formula that promotes fluid metabolism and circulation, and just has a great effect on lymphatic drainage and overall reproductive health. Siwu Tongue, this is a classic formula that focuses on nourishing the blood by improving the circulation, addressing any kind of blood deficiency, and it has a positive effect on lymphatic drainage. Shui Fu Juyu Tongue, so we call this drive out stasis in the mansion. Don't you love that name? I love the metaphors that Chinese medicine uses, but it's a formula that's really promoting blood stagnation and eliminating a lot of cold, all right? And it's benefiting that lymphatic drainage by improving the circulation and reducing the congestion. We have a couple of herbs that I love for the lymphatic system. Sanqi. you know, sometimes I'll even just give you Sanchi on its own. Sometimes I'll dispense that in tablets, and you know, and it's great for just moving stagnation, blockages, swelling. All right, tissue regeneration. That's what I love about Sanchi. Dangui, it's the female ginseng. We love this because it's blood nourishing, but it helps promote lymphatic drainage. It also helps regulate the fluids in your body. All right. So we'll talk about a couple of acupressure points that you can use at home. So we've got the 4 gates. All right. So using liver 3 between the big toe and the second toe, and Hegu, which is large intestine 4. All right. These points promote circulation. They reduce inflammation. They're often used in lymphatic drainage treatments. As I mentioned, when I'm working with the spleen, so I often will use spleen 6, which is about 4 finger breadths above the inside ankle. All right, it's on both sides. And then we've got spleen 9 right at the crease of the knee. All right, it's on the inside of your leg, the spleen channel. And it's partnered with the stomach. So sometimes I'll use stomach 36 to support lymphatic flow. And, you know, it's literally 4 finger breadths below the patella, 1 finger breadth lateral to the tibial tuberosity. And you can hammer this point like this 36 times. Amazing. All right. It improves the circulation, tonifies the chi. All right. Then I love large intestine 11. All right. Cool at the bend. Here we go. This is the nice bend. So it's the crease of the elbow. All right. It's beneficial for clearing heat and inflammation. So I'll often use this when there's lymphatic congestion, you know, and if there's skin issues like a lot of heat, eczema, you know, it's a powerful point. And then kidneys, kidney 3. This is find your Achilles beside the ankle. All right. And you can grab your Achilles, and then it's just like, oh, and then you'll tap into kidney 3. It's that depression between the ankle bone and the Achilles tendon. So kidney 3, we tonify the kidney chi, and it supports fluid metabolism. So kidney 3 is one of my favorites for lymphatic drainage. It's the earth point on the kidney channel. Lastly, gallbladder 34. This is the Yang Mound Spring. I love this, Yang Ling Chuan. All right, gallbladder 34. Basically, it's on the outer leg in the depression of the fibula bone. All right, now gallbladder 34, it's a very powerful point. All right, and it's used to promote circulation. Right, it reduces dampness and it supports the liver and gallbladder meridians, but it indirectly benefits the lymphatic system. So moving to some supplements, because I know you're all going to be like, right, am I in the right supplements for lymphatic drainage? So some recommendations I have: your omega-3s, vitamin D, all right, probiotics. So we want a balanced gut. If we're looking at lymphatic drainage, we want to reduce inflammation and promote detoxification. You need the gut strong, all right? N-acetylcysteine, otherwise known as NAC. It's an important antioxidant. It supports the detoxification pathways. So it's also going to reduce oxidative stress, supports egg quality, but it improves, you know, that lymphatic drainage, all right, because it helps in removing toxins from your body and waste products. So that's why I'll often add NAC to your protocol. Curcumin, so it's the active compound in your turmeric. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidant, and it certainly helps lymphatic drainage by reducing inflammation. We've also got other supplements. You know, if you have serious issues with your lymphatic system, you know, you've got swelling, there's gut stuff going on, you've got skin issues, you'll know if you do. And then, you know, we'll tailorize these supplements around that while we're working on your overall pathology and supporting your fertility at the same time. Now, there's herbs that we can give you, like burdock root, as I mentioned, echinacea. You know, there's a lot of lymphatic supplements that are in a combination, all right, so that can work on your lymphatic drainage. But you've got milk thistle, because that works on the liver, the kidneys, and the GI tract. It can fight inflammation, all right, and it's, you know, there's been some studies where you can take it with breastfeeding, and it can help open up the ducts for breastfeeding. We want you on a good PreConception multivitamin, because they provide all the essential nutrients that we need: folate, B12, you know, zinc. They're important not only just for your reproductive health, but including your lymphatic function. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about is zeolites, because I am really into zeolites for lymphatic drainage. Zeolites, and I like the clinoptilolite, the clinoptilolite. Am I saying this right? Clinoptilolite zeolites. This is the ones that are really micronized zeolites. Okay, I'll put it at the bottom of my talk, so that way you can make sure you get the right zeolites, because the micronized zeolites, if you have 1 teaspoon, it's about 2,500 milligrams of zeolites. But what I love about the zeolites is they detoxify heavy metals, so lead, mercury, cadmium, aluminium, pesticides. What else? Mold, radioactive materials, other pollutants, parasites. So, zeolites, I just find they're my new big thing. And I wanted to finish with my favorite new thing for treating the lymphatic system is the zeolites. Now, you can use zeolites for as a washing booster. You can use it, so then we're like getting rid of grease and E. coli and the chemicals from dyes in your fabrics. All right, we can use it as an antifungal, an antibacterial, an antiviral. So you can use it in your household cleaners. You can also add like 1 teaspoon of your clinoptilolite zeolites into the water for your soaking your vegetables. So it's going to take all your heavy metals and harmful chemicals off your fruit and veg. So I used to be a big fan of the apple cider vinegar until I found zeolites. All right, so these are my new big thing. I'm just doing a protocol on them now, because I'm telling you, if it's tried and tested by yours truly and it works on me, it's going to work on everybody. All right, you can also use it for your pets. So you can add 1 or 2 teaspoons of zeolites into a bowl of water, and it's like it becomes like a little bit of a dust at the bottom. You want to just, because it's see-through. You can't. It's tasteless and odorless, and it's also good for removing odors. But you can put it in the bowl next to your dog's water bowl, and they can just use the zeolites for their health. It's been known to shrink lots of things like cancers and things. I'm not going to say that it does that completely. I'd have to look at the data on that, but there's just such a benefit when we're looking at, we live in a very toxic world and we've got everything working against us. The zeolites, they come from volcanic ash. So we're talking millions of years of this mineral is so powerful and so potent, and we don't need much of it. Okay, so let's all investigate the zeolites. And if anyone wants a link of where to buy the zeolites, you can let me know that as well. So the lymphatic summary, I think in summary, we're going to see that it plays a massive role in the immune regulation. It plays a massive role in your hormonal balance, and it plays a massive role in inflammation. All right, and we need to be on top of these if we want to be fertile and we want to maintain our reproductive health and have a healthy and happy conception and pregnancy. So ensuring that this system functions optimally can be an important aspect of preparing for conception and sustaining the pregnancy. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. I'm going to get you to unmute and ask me any questions if you had any questions for me.
Hi, I do.
Oh, yeah,
So,
great.
When it comes to the lymphatic system and it comes to, using the points that you suggested and doing the rebounder or whatnot, can you do it throughout your cycle, or is it preferred to do it on the follicular versus the luteal? Like, what are your thoughts with that?
Yeah, I think because it's this system doesn't stop. All right. Yeah. So, in terms of the castor oil packs, no, we do them in the follicular. There's certain things that we only want to do in the follicular, but the rebounding is something we want to do all the time, because I want that lymphatic system working. So this could be something that you go, right, I'm going to incorporate just getting up from the desk and lifting my heels up and down through the day. So yes, you can incorporate. Now these points, if we look at these points, all right, for, like liver 3, there's certain points that we won't use in like the luteal phase. All right, so things, because we don't want to move too much. All right, so initially mid-luteal, up until mid-luteal, you could do kidney 3, liver 3, stomach 36, but then we tend to stop the points that are going to be overly circulating, like spleen 6, Hegu. All right, so yes, this is a great question, because spleen 6, it can dilate the cervix. So we tend to avoid that. The closer we get towards the end, like I might mox a spleen 6, but I certainly don't palpate or needle it in the luteal phase. All right, because we don't want to dilate your cervix. Do you understand? So it's a great question. So the points that are in a stomach 36, because that is like such a beautiful pregnancy point. Okay, stomach 36, which is on like literally 4 finger breadths below the kneecap and 1 finger breadth lateral to the shin. All right, and stomach 36, you can use this throughout the luteal and pregnancy. It's fantastic. All right, if you've got, say, heat and inflammation, you can add in the Yangming aspect of it. So often I might add in stomach 36 with large intestine 11. All right, and this is a great combination to support your lymphatic system. You could do those points, just those two, throughout the entire cycle. So that way you don't have to think, which part, which one, Like I think if you can keep it simple and then you do them, all right, so you can rebound as much as you can, stomach 36, large intestine 11. All right, just think of the knees and the elbows points.
Okay. Knees and elbows. Okay. And then what about like when you're saying like the rub, tap?
Yep.
And
So
those do throughout too?
Yeah, you can do it because it's gentle. All right. We actually want to support that escort. All right, because it's happening all the time. All right. So you can rub, tap, and stroke. All right, those 6 areas, because it's very gentle. It's actually not going to affect implantation. All right, we're actually giving it a little bit of a helping hand. Like it's actually doing this for you anyway. But what tends to happen, I find it tends to get stuck around here for us women, around the clavicle, right? This, because it has the lowest pressure. So that's why I always start with the lowest pressure. And it's rub the clavicle, like up and above, tap, 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 rub and circle. Like even if you just do your clavicles, as women, us women. But if you can do all 6, even better. Okay. Yeah, but yes, you can do this. You can do that lymphatic drainage massage because it's very gentle. And I mean, clearly we're not going to do it vigorously. It's going to be, not overly vigorous. It's just, I say gentle Jesus. We just want to encourage the movement of lymph and fluids.
Okay. And then the last item that you talked about, how do you spell it, or where do we find that at?
Okay. Let me spell it because I get tongue-tied. Okay. It's CLINO, CLINO, PTILO, clinoptillo light.
Right.
Clinoptillo light. Clinoptillo light. How's that? Clinoptillo light. Clinoptillo light. Can you say that quickly? Clinoptillo light. You see why I'm getting tongue-tied. Yeah, it's okay. Just think they're the most micronized, and you can ingest them because there's all different size particles. We want them micronized, and this clinoptilolite particles are the ones you can ingest safely. Now you can actually use these micronized zeolites during your pregnancy.
Okay, so then it's safe to use throughout your cycle then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm loving them. Yeah, I've just road tested them for you, ladies.
Never heard of it before, so interesting.
Yeah, it's my favorite new thing, right? And look, I've known about them for a while. I first tried them about 4 years ago, and I used them as a liquid, and I just felt like it was multi-level marketing, dare I say it, and it was expensive. Now I found like the Australian zeolites, the micronized zeolites, are the most superior in the world, apparently. try and get the Australian ones, right? And basically, so I've now get them, and you know, I got 1.3 kilos for like 50 Australian dollars. So it's not expensive. It's going to last you forever.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. The main thing when you're doing them is, you know, like you just start small dose. All right. Yeah. So usually 1 teaspoon. You can go a quarter. Sometimes you might get some symptoms, but it's really good for if you've got gut issues and you're not like your methylation's not working well, you know, because the thing is you could have parasites, mold. You don't know what it is. There can be so much functional testing. What I love is the Zeolites company goes, right, let's take it all. Because it acts, it's like a cage. If you look at the molecular structure, you know, I've gone in and done a deep dive on these zeolites, but it's like a cage, all right? And so it captures everything, and it goes through. It's like a trawler, and it takes everything out without destroying the organs, without depleting you in any way. So,
Okay.
I just love it.
Now, do you have a specific website that we can go to for the
Yeah.
Australian
Yeah,
time that you can?
I've got 2. Yeah, I'll drop it at the end when I put the live replay. I will put it at the end of the video, or I'll DM
Oh,
it.
perfect.
I'll put it in
Okay.
for you. Not a problem.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Do you
You're
just
welcome.
mix a teaspoon and water
That's
and
right.
drink it?
Yeah,
Okay.
1 teaspoon. Yeah, 1 teaspoon. Stir it in a glass of water. I usually stir and let it stand for about 5 minutes, and then you know you're drinking that cloudy mixture because all the particles are there in the water. All right.
And just do that like once a day, or
Yeah, once
is
a
there
day.
too
That's it.
much that you could do it,
No,
or
no, once a
okay.
day. Once a day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once a day.
I was also gonna ask just about like cycle like time periods to do things with the dry brushing. I thought I had heard at one point, I don't know where from, so you're the expert. Is that safe to do throughout the whole cycle, or do you just do that during the follicular phase too?
Yeah, look, if you're going to do like a massive, you know, there's so many techniques, but if you're just doing a gentle moving from the feet towards the groin, moving from the arms towards the heart, everything's up in that upward motion towards the heart, then that is fine to do. It's when you start doing too much, like, you know, when you're overdoing it. And the main thing is just to keep it soft. So if the skin's getting irritated, you're doing it too deeply, and then it becomes counterproductive.
Okay.
So soft and gentle, and then you should be fine to do it for the entire cycle.
Okay, that's helpful. I don't know where I heard that, but I was only doing it kind of like after my period and before.
And if you want to err on the side of caution, we can just do it, you know, like in the follicular phase. So you can do it like from when you finish shedding, you know, a little bit like the castor oil packs, you know, when in doubt, and you just think, all right, if my skin's feeling irritated, all right, just stop at ovulation. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember,
the same. Oh,
sorry,
go
say
ahead.
that again.
No, go ahead.
So basically, it's like the castor oil packs. You can just, you know, kind of keep it succinct, and that way, you know, if we look at that follicular phase, it's the pillar. So we're really kind of just supporting that lymphatic system, and then we can give it a break and let it do its own work and support yourself in the luteal. You can do it. There's no rules with it, right? It's very fluid, you know.
Yeah.
If you
Sounds like if it's just gentle though, it's fine to do.
totally, absolutely, yes. That's
and is the same true with like the legs up on the wall throughout?
Okay, yeah. So this is where it gets tricky. Legs up the wall is great. While you can do that pretty much through your entire cycle, the only time we don't do Hipparita Karani legs up the wall is when you're shedding, because we want the blood to flow out. So this is a beautiful question, perfect question. So it's contraindicated when you're menstruating.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jeanette. Thank you. Any other questions? Jamie.
I do.
Hello. Hey, darling.
I'm really happy you did this topic today because I have a lot of interest in it, and I have a lot of issues, I think, with the lymphatic system. Like I have swelling on my legs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to hear about it. I had a question. What did you say the name of the Japanese needle-free acupuncture? What was that?
It's called Shonishin. All right, let me spell it for you. S-H.
Yeah. S-H?
It's another difficult one to say. S-H-O-N.
Uh-huh.
I-S-H-I-N. Shonishin.
Got it.
It's
I want
Japanese.
to look that up and look
Look
into
it
that.
up. Now, I love this because it's such a powerful tool. All right. And I'll often use it, especially when I've got people that are sensitive and that have never had acupuncture. And often the times, you know, when there is a lot of swelling, there's pain. So Shonishin is great for lymphedema, swelling. All right. So it's just super relaxing. Like I love having Shonishin done to me because I'm very.
Sounds lovely.
It's you just, it's like butterfly kisses all over you. Like it really feels relaxing. Yeah, it'll transport you to another place.
Okay, I'm gonna look for that. I
Yeah.
have a couple other questions. What I meant to ask last time, I'm not sure how you're saying it. Is it castor oil packs? What is that?
Castor oil. All right. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. I like doing them yourself, but this is my mouse pad, but you get a piece of material, all right, Now it can be any like a piece of flannel, an old t-shirt, and you make a square, all right, cut it out, and then get your castor oil, right? You can get this from your, supermarket or often your apothecary stores, where you can get your medications. They'll often sell castor oil, all right? But castor oil, it's very cloying, it's very thick, and you cover the pack with castor oil, so it's not soaking through, but about 3 to 4 tablespoons of it on the pack, and then you just place it directly on the skin. All right, and you want to keep it. So I'll often get an old jar, an old jar that it could be an old jam jar, something that you can just literally, once you finish with using the pack, put it in the jar and put it in the refrigerator. All right, and you can reuse the same pack 30 times.
Okay.
Yeah. Then cover yourself. You cover yourself. So you put it skin to skin over the womb area. So from the pubis to the navel. All right. And then cover it with some, some cling wrap, some beeswax wrap, something that's just a clear separation. If you don't want plastic, go for something that's plant-based. All right. But a barrier, and then put a hot water bottle on the top or a wheat bag. And that's it. You can leave your pack for about 20 minutes to half an hour, anywhere up to an hour. And what we do is we do these castor oil packs in the follicular phase. So from the last day of your period until ovulation, and then we stop. Yeah. So I love it doing yourself. Now, they've got all of these really expensive packs. Queen of the Thrones, that's a website. And they sell the packs. They sell all the womb packs and the liver packs and the thyroid packs. And they sell the castor oil to go with the pack, but it's quite expensive. And so, you can get the castor oil that's not expensive. It might be less than $10 US, and then it'll last you forever. It'll last you an entire year or more. Yeah. And then
get on Amazon, right?
Yeah, get some. Castor oil is so important. And then when you use your gua sha tool, so in the follicular phase, this is another technique. We rub the belly. So rub your belly with the castor oil, and then you're scraping up the belly with the tool. And you're using the castor oil as a barrier cream, so you can get that friction, that lovely smooth friction, and it creates a nice red tummy. And it's getting that circulation. So it's working on that lymphatic system. So gua sha. Now, if you've got swelling of the legs and the ankles, right, you can actually, sometimes we can gua sha up towards the groin, all right? So you can gua sha the legs. You can cup the legs. So if you were having acupuncture, your acupuncturist might use some cupping, they might use some gua sha, they might use some Chinese massage, all right? Yeah, but castor oil, if you haven't got castor oil, highly recommend getting some, and then you can make your own packs. Let me know how you go. And if you need more information, I can give you a printout of how to make a castor oil pack, so it's very clear. Would you like that, Jamie?
I'll DM you for that. Yes.
Yeah, DM me for that. No problem. You're welcome.
One last question was about when you said the herbal teas, you said ginger, echinacea. What about mint, like peppermint?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Great. Perfect.
Okay,
Because it's really working
sounds
on
good. I love peppermint.
absolutely. It's awesome because it's working on the flow of qi and blood, especially through the liver, harmonizes the gut. So, it's going to help enhance the lymphatic system, reduce inflammation, and support detoxification. So, I mean, I know whenever I have a peppermint tea, I just go, oh, don't you? You just go, oh, I feel amazing after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
have a question.
yeah, it
I'm
does it.
sorry.
No, go for it.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm interrupting. But you had mentioned earlier that the kidneys are the foundation for fertility.
Yes.
So I've gotten into the habit of doing moxa, and it's gotten to be daily for me to not, is it moxa? Yeah, moxa on the kidneys. So that's the bottom of the feet, right?
Yeah, the bottom of the
Um,
soles, kidney 1. We've got kidney 1 on the
yeah,
sole. There's kidney 1.
yeah.
And then
Okay.
kidney 3, the point I was talking about
Is 4 finger breaths. Oh, okay. No, that's
kidney
the other
3.
one.
That's the other one.
Kidney.
Kidney 3
Okay.
works on that fluid metabolism. So that's the one that I'll often use. It's when there's weak kidney qi, or especially if there's yang qi deficiency or fluid retention. All right.
Okay. So is that okay to do on a daily basis, no matter if it's follicular or luteal?
Yeah, as long as we make sure that you're not overly hot, so this is the thing. If you're in the luteal phase, we want a warm womb. All right. So if some women run hot, so we want to make sure that you're only using it if you've got cold feet, you've got yang deficiency. We call that kidney yang deficiency or kidney qi deficiency. We'll often see the dark circles under the eyes when there's kidney qi deficiency or kidney deficiency or an imbalance with the kidneys. So that's another manifestation. So things that we're looking for, it could be even your hair, because if the hair is a manifestation of your kidney qi. If you've got really small ears, because it opens into the ears. If you've got issues with tinnitus or hearing, all right. So we're all like the body. That's what I love about Chinese medicine. It will show us if you've got those issues. If you have those issues, of course you can do moxa in the follicular.
So are you saying, wait, so small ears is an indication of
weak kidney qi, yeah. So
really?
this is how we used to. This is an interesting thing. When we were back in the primal times, we would look at a man and we would go, big ears, good breeder, like big ears, big. You want the big ears, good sperm. Small ears, not so good for men. If
Okay.
you were picking a
My
mate.
man has small ears.
Sorry,
My
that
man has small ears.
that's it.
So wait, is this only for men or is it for women too?
This is how we look at things in Chinese medicine. It means we need to support the kidney qi, the kidney,
Okay.
the kidney energy.
Okay, but you said is this for men? Like small ears indicate?
Yeah.
Okay, is it also for women though, or?
Yeah, often with women as well. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll often find we need to support and do a lot more tonification on the kidneys. I find just for humans, men and women, most of us are depleted in the kidneys. Remember, the kidneys relate to your adrenals. I love this. Tara's saying my dad has huge ears. Great. Your dad's a good breeder. Yeah, but literally, yeah, it just means we want to support that organ system. So don't worry. I mean, don't worry. Oh my gosh, I've got small ears. It's a big catastrophe. It's not. It's not. It's not that. But these are the things we look at when I am diagnosing, or these are key indicators that I'll look for. Yeah. All right. I think we've covered all the questions. It's been wonderful, all of you. All the
One
questions.
more if you have a second.
Oh yeah. go
Sorry,
for
I
it.
thought of another one. Is that okay? When you're talking about the zeolites, I don't know how you spell that, I wasn't sure, but it's like a mineral, right? So is it
That's
a
right.
mineral powder?
Mhm. Mm.
Because that interests me. I was like curious to try that. Yeah.
Yeah. Climatidolite. It's the micronized zeolites. they're, they're the volcanic ash. I would say it's one of the most amazing minerals on this planet for the lymphatic system.
The toxins out, like, and then when they come, is it in your urine or in your poo? Or are you sweating it out or something?
All of the above. Like if we look at the of excretion, it's mainly through the bowels, through defecation, but we excrete through defecation, urination, through sweat, through breath. All right. So our skin, so yeah, it's working on those pathways, all of them, but primarily through the bowels. So the main thing is if you are taking them, because you need a lot of water. So make sure you're really hydrated when you're doing the zeolites.
Okay.
But it's great. If I'm just looking at a case and I'm thinking, well, it could be heavy metals, it could be parasites and things aren't just showing up, or, then zeolites are a really good thing that we can just add into the mix, and it will just work on everything straight away.
It's just put like a tablespoon in water and just drink it.
And it's simple as
once a day.
Yeah, let's not tell anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Then they'll market it and charge a fortune for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put a patent on it and we won't have access to it. I mean, it's crazy. The world's gone mad. I love that we can have these natural things, secret women's business, but, share the love with your circles of women, because often we've all got heavy metal toxicity, in our drinking water. We've all been exposed, like mold, if you're living in a humid climate. It could be even just parasites if you've traveled to a country like Bali, or Egypt. I mean, I got giardia in Egypt and got very, very sick. Every time I've gone to Bali, I've been sick 6 times. So, I wish I knew about the zeolites back then. Yeah, it gave me a lot of leaky gut, and so I've had to fix a lot of this stuff in myself. So I'm seeing a massive shift after doing a protocol on the zeolites, just personally for me. And that's why I'm saying, if I know it works for me, it's going to help you guys big time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else, Ruth, anything you might want to ask me? I know you've got some great questions. Do you want to unmute or say anything?
I have a few questions, but they're personal. I mean, I don't mind. I have, I'm older than these girls, and I have a lot of varicosities in my legs and feet, even some pelvic congestion syndrome. And I'm wondering, about the gua sha, the dry brushing, is that recommended or not?
Yeah.
Like a lot of spider veins and things like that. Is it going to break those out more?
Yeah. So I would do the dry brushing. The gua sha, the gua sha is stronger. All right. So I would start with the brushings first, because it's gentler. And I would be doing the rebounding, just getting the heels to work, getting the circulation. I
have a great rebounder. I have to just get the junk off of it and use it.
Yeah, that's right, Ruth. Absolutely.
And even, I've got a vibration plate as well, but I don't know if that irritates things or
fantastic. Fantastic. No, you can also, like in Chinese medicine, we'll often do it's called the 7-star dermal hammer. It's a needle we use, and it's often, if they're like those small capillaries that are breaking in the skin, we will often pierce them and bleed them in Chinese medicine. So you could try that, the dermal hammer, and acupuncture. It's quite amazing for that. Yeah. We've also got some formulas that lift and hold, like Buzhong Ichitang. We've got these holding formulas and lifting formulas. It's really amazing.
So where would I find a practitioner that would take care of this?
Okay, so it depends where you are. And part of it is just, if you wanted to DM me where you live, then I can actually find someone for you. Or if you can look at an acupuncturist in your area, maybe give me 3 and I can see if they've got the right credentials. Because it's mainly, if you want to get somebody that has the right credentials that can do this work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have some sclerotherapy done, with the injections and putting some soap or something in it. Yeah. And it worked somewhat, but again, I had to go back in, and because there were little bullies around it, they had to drain those, and then some of them didn't drain very well, so I had a little scarring around it.
Okay.
We never really got down into the small like my feet are just almost purple on the sides. They're so,
Okay. All right. So I'd be looking, you want to work on the rebounding 100%. Also the legs up the wall, you want to elevate when your feet are going purple, elevation, elevation, elevation. You know,
Okay.
yeah, 10 to 15 minutes for you a day, darling.
Well, you know, being a nurse doesn't help. And then,
well, you know what? You take care of
your
everyone.
children.
You take care of everyone. And now I think self-care is the key takeaway for you, Ruth.
Yes, thank
Shine
you.
that beautiful light then on yourself that you shine onto others.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me this evening. Remember, I'm going to be running these talks weekly. So if you have any topics you'd like me to cover, thank you all. Sweet good night. Take care. Bye-bye.